Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a foundation video and it is a foundation do's and don'ts. Personally, I think the do's and don'ts way of doing videos is super helpful because that way you can actually compare the two sides together, so you can compare the wrong side with the correct side and it makes things really obvious so you can actually tell, okay, well yeah, that is wrong and this looks a lot better. This is a better way of doing things. I've tried to keep this as universal as possible, so no matter if you've got dry skin or you've got oily skin or acne, these will work for you in my opinion, generally speaking. So I hope you guys will find this helpful. Keep on watching if you want to see my foundation do's and don'ts. Okay, so here's me rubbing my moisturizer into my skin. As you can see, I've already got pretty sensitive skin, so the act of rubbing the moisturizer into the skin is actually kind of irritating my skin. It's causing tiny little flakes and my foundation just will not sit smoothly on top of it. What you want to do instead is very, very gently smooth your moisturizer over the top of your skin. So hopefully you can see that I'm doing it really, really gently and I'm kind of getting it into all the nooks and crannies, but I'm nowhere near rubbing my skin. I'm just very, very gently smoothing the moisturizer over my skin. Do not apply your foundation straight over the top of your moisturizer because that is just too many layers on the skin and your foundation will just end up sliding right off your face. So yes, you want to wait either 5 or 10 minutes, however long you can wait for your moisturizer to actually absorb into your skin before you go and apply your foundation. That way, when it comes time to apply your foundation, you've got a really smooth, even, moisturized base ready for your foundation to go on over the top. What I do to pass time, I'll usually just check Instagram or check my emails or basically just kind of like blow air into my face. Do not rub your foundation into your skin with your hands. I know so many people do this and it might seem quick and easy, but what it's actually doing is causing micro exfoliation on the surface of your skin, which is those tiny, tiny little flaky bits that especially people with dry skin will notice, and it's just not the best way to apply your foundation at all. Plus it will kind of spread any bacteria if you have like a zit or something like that. What I like to do is pat my foundation into my skin. I like to put a little bit on the back of my hand and use my hand like a palette, and I personally prefer to use a sponge. And then what I do is I pat my foundation all over my face. By patting your foundation instead of rubbing it, it's actually going to smooth down any dry patches, smooth down any flakes or any pimples if you have them, and give you a really, really smooth, even surface to your foundation, and it won't look cakey whatsoever. If you've never tried this technique before, try it and then leave me a comment telling me if you noticed a difference. P.S. I really like these disposable wedge sponges because with the edge of them, you can get really easily around the nose crevices, around your lips, around your eyebrows, etc. Although beauty blenders are lovely too. And yes, you can use a brush for this if you want to, just do the patting motion instead of rubbing. Don't forget your hairline, but do make sure not to get the foundation in any little baby hairs that you have around the hairline because that never really looks very good. But yeah, don't forget the hairline. Do not forget to apply your foundation around the eye socket. So many people don't put foundation around their eye socket and I don't know why. So yes, do apply your foundation around the eye area. You don't want to have two differing colors to your skin tone on your face. You want everything to be uniform. So take a small amount of foundation and just smooth it over the eye area. Be very, very gentle with your eye area. Of course, if you also want to apply a concealer around the eye area, you would apply the concealer on top of the foundation anywhere that has not been covered by the foundation. Don't apply your foundation to your neck. I don't know, well, unless you need to if you've got acne or something. I don't know why people think that this has to be done. You do not need to apply foundation to your neck. It's just kind of gross. It'll go on the collar of your clothes, and if you hug someone, it's probably going to get on them too. See the jawline there, that little shadowy area underneath your head? That is how far you want to bring your foundation down. So just where that shadow is, that's where you want to bring the foundation so that no one will be able to see where your foundation starts or finishes. Do not use a darker color, powder or foundation in order to look more tan. It is not going to make you look more tan. It's just going to look a little bit muddy and a little bit blah. Of course, the only exception to that is if you already have fake tan on your body or your body is a different color to your face. Obviously, you then want to match your foundation and powder to your body and not your natural face color. In saying that, you absolutely do need to set your foundation in place with a powder. If your foundation feels wet on the skin, it just means that it's not been set yet, and there's a very real chance that it will melt off your skin and it will kind of slide off a lot faster than it will if you set it properly. I personally usually like to use a translucent powder. That way it's not going to add any color to the skin, it's just purely going to set your foundation in place so that it stays put all day. Again, in saying that as well, do not rub your powder over the top of your foundation because that will wreck the foundation that you applied underneath. I like to very gently pat my powder with a brush on top of the foundation. And don't forget to set underneath the jawline as well because you do not want that foundation going anywhere. Here's some other little tips that I hope will help. If you're struggling with your patting method and you're finding it a little bit hard to reach places, just take a little blending brush or a little concealer brush and you can go around your eyebrows, you can go around the crevices of your eyes, crevices of your nose, the hairline and lips, etc. It doesn't take you very long, but it's just kind of like a finishing touch. If you have oily skin, here's a little trick. Take a piece of tissue or toilet paper, which is what I do, fold it into triangles and then just very gently press it against the skin. That will soak up any extra oil or any residue that your foundation has left and could actually cause shine on the skin. And once you've soaked up the excess oil, then you can go in and powder and set your foundation in place. Have some water. Why? Because it's good for you. Hydrate, people. And then here's the difference between both sides. So this is the don'ts side. As you can see, you can still see a lot of the redness on my skin. My pores are very obvious, my little zits are still showing through, and my foundation is just not looking even whatsoever. And here is the do side. So hopefully you can see my skin looks a lot smoother, my complexion looks clearer, my pores don't look as big, even though I already have huge pores. Coverage is a lot better, and my skin looks healthier and a little bit more glowy.